Holy Gospel according to Matthew. In the time of King Herod, after Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea, wise men, magi from the east, came to Jerusalem asking, "Where is the child who has been born King of the Jews? For we observed his star at its rising, and have come to pay him homage." When King Herod heard this, he was frightened, and all Jerusalem with him. And calling together all the chief priests and scribes of the people, he inquired of them where the Messiah was to be born. They told him, "In Bethlehem of Judea, for so it has been written by the prophet. And you, O Bethlehem, in the land of Judah, are by no means least among the rulers of Judah. For from you shall come a ruler who is to shepherd my people Israel." And Herod secretly called for the Magi, and learned from them the exact time when the star had appeared. Then he sent them to Bethlehem, saying, "Go and search diligently for the child, and when you have found him, bring me word, so that I may also go and pay him homage." And when they had heard the king, they set out. And there ahead of them went the star that they had seen at its rising, until it stopped over the place where the child was. When they saw that star had stopped, they were overwhelmed with joy. On entering the house, they saw the child with Mary, his mother, and they knelt down and paid him homage. Then opening their treasure chest, they offered him gifts of gold and frankincense and myrrh. And having been warned in a dream not to return to Herod, they left for their own country by another road. This is the gospel of our Lord. Praise the Lord. Please be seated. This is a unique and special day. It is a festival of the Epiphany of our Lord. And is special because symbolically when those magi came from the east to give those gifts to Jesus and to acknowledge that he was the Messiah, was the recognition that the world had come to pay Jesus homage. They had come to recognize that he was the king. And it was no longer just the original people of God, but all people who could pay him the appropriate acknowledgement of who he was. The special or unique thing is that in this Epiphany of the Lord, January 6th, fell on a Sunday. It doesn't happen too often. And it used to be one of the greatest festivals of the church year, probably the second one that overshadowed Christmas in the early church, but it has given away to December 25th. So now we don't even celebrate it anymore in the church when it occurs on January 6th. But it is a unique day, and this day occurs after Christmas, of course, which takes us back to the beginning of the church year, Advent. And for 4 Sundays, we were considering the preparation of the coming of Jesus. As we looked, we were saying, what are we waiting for? What are we looking for, and what are we hoping for? Well, we know what that was. It was Jesus. But so what? So he came. So he was born in a manger. So what? For the Magi, this so what was important. And we need to understand some things about this story. They weren't kings. You know, there's that hymn, "We Three Kings of Orient are." They weren't kings. And we don't know if there were 3. There could have been 2, there could have been 4 or 5. We only say 3 because there was 3 gifts: frankincense, myrrh, and gold. And that's symbolic that gold represents kingly authority, frankincense represents priestly authority, and myrrh represents that which you use for burial. Jesus was all 3. But they came because they were magi. They came from Persia. They were pagans. They were Gentiles. They did not belong to the family of God at that time. In fact, the Jewish belief looked down upon what they looked at, and that was astrology. They looked to the stars to get their signs. They thought that was heresy. And in the Christian belief today, some people still do. Although every day you can pick up the paper and read your horoscope if you so desire. But they were the scientists of the eastern part of the world. They probably had the religion called Zoroastrianism. But they still came to worship Jesus because he was king. And that's what the early church celebrated. And they gave him gifts. But you know, we got the best gift of all, and it's not in this box. This is symbolic. We know what that gift is. That's what we were waiting and longing and looking and hoping for all during Advent. The gift of the person who was wrapped in the manger. The gift of Jesus. That's what we hope for. That's what we wanted. But you know, we haven't opened it all of them, have we? You see, this gift of Jesus, if we look at it, this is the manger. This gift, we would never put on our wish list for Christmas, I don't think. We might put on something like the power of myth. We might put on some clothes. We might put a list of Pokemon or books or anything of that nature. But how many of us have ever put on that list, bring me Jesus Christ? That's what I really want. For see you, that gift is a gift of love, a gift of compassion, a gift of hope, a gift of the power of forgiveness and reconciliation. It is the gift of faith, and it is the gift of justice and mercy. All of those are wrapped up in that gift of Jesus. But we have to open it up in order to use it. We have to open it up in order to give it away. We have to open it up in order to sense it and experience it. And we don't open it up with our mind. We open it up with our heart. We open that up and we share it and we give it away because we can't keep it. We give it away to people who cross our path of life. No, not in Brazil, not in France, not in Japan, but those who live in Washington County. And those who live in Jonesboro and the environment around it. Those who we see. We share love and compassion, and faith and hope, and the ability and desire to reconcile, the ability of forgiveness, and the yearning for justice and mercy. That's how we open this. But that's scary. Because when we open it, there's a good chance we might be transformed. And transformation needs change. And when we change, we don't look at the world from the world's point of view. We don't look at it for the world's values and the materiality that the world looks for, or the priorities that the world looks for, or the power and control that the world yearns. We look at it from Jesus' point of view, because that's the gift he gives us. But we have a choice. We can take this gift and put it away, or put it on the shelf, and wait till December 25th of next year. And then as Advent comes, we can wait, we can look, and we can hope, and we'll take that package off the shelf again, and we'll set it down here, and we'll all sing carols and rejoice and be happy. And then we put it back on the shelf again until next year. Christ has called us to be here in Jonesboro. Christ has called us to open that gift and share that gift with everybody. Let's make a commitment to do so.